Hey guys, this is Claude. We're going to be opening up this deck today. These final two are going to be for patrons. We'll try and do that within the next day or two. Alright, let's see what we have inside here. This box has been pretty solid, light on the Brobnar. Of course, every time I say that, we somehow jinx ourselves, and here comes the Brobnar. But then again, maybe because I said that, it will unjinx us? Oh, but now that I said that, we're jinxed all again. It doesn't even matter. Yellow Archon. Saurian is our first house. Shadows is the second house, and oh, it's not. It's got me last time Logos was last. I already had myself convinced Brobnar was going to be in here, and so just seeing that similar color initially made me think we were going to have it. Logos is the third house. Carmelo, Ringleader, The Slider, Romero, and a very plain, simple Archon. Yellows are very, very hard to see what they're trying to show us in the artwork. It's really hard to see. I mean, look how close to the white. You don't even actually almost see it inside. There's a bunch of little, like, white bubbles. All right, let's see what we got inside this thing. Seeing these three houses, I'm really hoping our Saurian is going to have great board control. Obviously, we want some steel and shadows. And Logos archiving is always pretty fun, setting up for those really big turns. All right. And we are starting off with Shadows, it's Necklifter, 2 power. Play, take control of an enemy artifact. While under your control, if it does not belong to one of your 3 houses, it is considered to be in House Shadows. That's a fantastic card. Selwyn the Fence, 3 power, fight, reap. Move 1 amber from one of your cards to your pool. This could be really good with the Saurians. Why did this card not have elusive? Whoa, too much to protect. Amber whenever you play it. Steal all but 6 of your opponent's amber. Settle Mole, it's an artifact. Action, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. The card I can never pronounce. I've heard people pronounce this many different ways. Oubliette. We're going to just do a random one. Oubliette. Okay, play. Purge a creature with power 3 or lower. Fidget, 2 power, elusive. Reap, discard a random card from your opponent's archives or the top card of their deck. If that card is an action, play it as if it were yours. Haven't seen this guy in a while. Wow, is it? No wonder why I haven't seen this guy in a while. He's uncommon. Oh, Ronnie, wrist clocks, 2 power, play. Steal an amber. If your opponent has 7 or more amber, steal 2 instead. Kaimor Eclipse, shuffle each flank creature into its owner's deck. Oh, another one of those. Inky Gloom, your opponent cannot use creatures to reap on their next turn. Hawk, 1 amber at every play, destroy an artifact. If you do, gain an amber. Avinda, 4 power, reap. Deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Usually the last card in Shadows? Yes, it is. Now we're on to the Saurians. It's Stomp. Amber whenever you play it, deal 5 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, exalt a friendly creature. Regrettable Meteor. Amber whenever you play it, destroy each dinosaur creature and each creature with power 6 or higher. Library of Paliosaurus, it's an artifact. Action, move 1 amber from a friendly creature to your pool, so we have both this and Selwyn to get the amber off our creatures. Thero Centurion, 6 power, 1 armor, play, fight, capture an amber. Redder Gallum, 3 power, play, your opponent's keys cost +3 amber during the next turn. Reap, if you exalt it, you do the same thing. Praefectus Ludo, 5 power, each other friendly creature gains destroyed. Move each amber on this creature to the common supply. Got a lot of protection for the amber on our creatures. Phalanx Strike, 1 amber whenever you play it. Choose a creature, deal 1 damage to it for each friendly creature. You may exalt a friendly creature to repeat the preceding effect. Odiak the Patrician, 5 power, play, capture an amber. While it has amber on it, your amber cannot be stolen. Great protection for our amber. Legatus Raptor, 4 power, 1 armor. Fight, you may exalt it. If you do, ready and use another friendly creature. Chant a Hubris, amber whenever you play it. Move 1 amber from a creature to another creature. Another one of those. Brutodon Auxiliary, 6 power, taunt. Hazardous 2. Not bad. Now we are on to Logos. And this rare has been with us since the very first set. It's Strange Gizmo Artifact, Amber whenever you play it. After you forge a key, destroy each creature and artifact. That's a fun little card. Maybe not so much with all these Saurians, but at the same time, I guess we have a lot of cards that can take Amber off of our creatures, so maybe it's not so bad. Reassembling Automaton, 3 power. Destroyed. If you have any other creatures in play, instead of destroying it, fully heal it, exhaust it, and move it to a flank. Another big Amber control card, Interdimensional Graft, Amber whenever you play it. If an opponent forges a key on their next turn, they must give you the remaining Amber. Did we actually have, like, individual steals, though? I don't think, just Ronnie? Ooh. Big steals with not many little steals to back it up isn't really that great. Dr. Millie, 2 power, play. For each creature your opponent controls in excess of you, not counting Dr. Millie, archive a card. There's the archiving we were looking for. Oh, Candle Unit, 5 power, 1 armor. This is a good card. After an enemy creature reaps, draw a card. Action, capture an amber. Twin Bolt Emission. Amber whenever you play it, deal 2 damage to a creature and deal 2 damage to a different creature. Titan Guardian, 5 power, 1 armor. Taunt. Destroyed. If it's not on a flank, draw 2 cards. Thorium Plasmate. Amber whenever you play it. Move an enemy creature anywhere in its controller's battle line. Deal 2 damage to that creature for each of its neighbors that shares a house with it. Another one of those. Igor is 2 power. Whenever you play it, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, discard the others. Babbling Bibliophile, 1 power, Reap, draw 2 cards. And our last card is a second Babbling Bibliophile. Okay, Logos is actually pretty good about moving through the deck, finding what we need. Didn't have the archiving, but it's still very good with all that card draw. Let's get our Amber up. Lighter on the steel than I was hoping for. With Logos, I was hoping for like an information exchange, and then some more single steals inside of Shadows. Shadows has been pretty iffy in this set. It doesn't quite have as much steel as we're used to. At least it doesn't feel like it. Okay. Yeah, he's going to get us an Amber every time. Okay, so Amber we expect to get, we have typically 2 off the 2 Must Protect. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Light on the Amber. Amber control now. You have to go a little bit slower because we have just a lot that is attached to weird parts of cards. It's Amber control. Zodiac. Ludo is going to count in here. Of course, the Gallum. This is kind of Amber control because we're taking Amber our opponent would be getting from our creatures back. Selwyn, and I think we missed something. There we go, Inky Glim. This is going to be a real rough estimate for Amber control. We'll just count all the cards we have here, whether or not they're that great, just to see what our max is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And once again, that's being very, very liberal with the amount of Amber control that's here. And also within itself, calling it Amber control. As I said, these cards typically would not be considered that, but whenever we're going to have a lot of our creatures putting Amber on themselves, taking that Amber away from our opponent is there. It doesn't take our opponents off the key, so that's why I don't necessarily want to call it Amber control. Let's get all of our creatures up, and then we'll discuss a little bit about this deck. See here. This is actually the most amount of cards I've seen in a deck that will take Amber off our own creatures or shift it around, do things like that. That's going to be pretty fun to try out. Haven't had a deck like that. Okay. Alright, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 18. Okay, right around the average count. Nothing too special there. Alright, so what do I like about this deck? One, I love that we have a sort of artifact control here because we can take our opponent's artifact if it's something they're abusing, using every turn. Snecklifter is a really fun card, especially since we can Chimera Eclipse it if our opponent has a big artifact deck. We can take all their like Dominator Baubles, maybe their Lash of Broken Dreams, cards like that. So that's pretty fun. I like that in here. I like that we had a lot of card draw or card selection, we'll call it. Let's see here. Things that are doing that. I think that was the end of it. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head here. Oh, geez, we'll just go through it real quick. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was all attached to creatures. So we got these cards here helping us draw cards, get through our deck a little bit faster. That's always nice. Very, very cool. I don't know just how great the 2 Much to Protect in here is. Since we don't have many steals from our hand, our opponent should be able to kind of play around it. They're going to know that we essentially just have a Ronnie that we can play on the same exact turn to take him off a key. Good chance they go to 6 or 7 and not really worry about it. I mean, honestly, we only had, let's see, where's it in the Saurians? Zodiac, I believe, is the only one that's coming in, taking it. Oh, sorry, the Gallum as well. Oh, Centurion, not too bad. I guess this does help prevent them from trying to just go to 6 and stay in there, especially if we can control it with like maybe the Logos turn as well with the unit. Okay, it's a little bit better than I was thinking in that category. It's still not great. Not the most powerful 2 Much to Protect deck I have seen. Usually you can pull off hiding a card in your archives, whether it's the 2 Much to Protect or the steel itself, and just be ready for that big turn. Playing your game as always, and just always having that threat your opponent just has to constantly play around. What is the bad part of this deck? Honestly, I think it's going to have some really bad draws. Mulligans are going to be extremely important in this deck. The reason I say that, look at some of these cards that don't really have an impact if you draw them early on. You're just going to be like essentially cycling them. That's not the best. Strange Gizmo is okay, I guess, but like a lot of these are just kind of, we got a lot of almost do-nothing cards early game. They're great support cards, but as far as quickly getting ourselves on the board or forcing our opponent to have to answer things, I feel like this deck is lacking that a little bit. And as I said, it's really going to make the consistency coming right out the gate very, very iffy. It has a lot of great cards, honestly. Purging cards, making your opponent discard. I do love the Kymor Eclipses. This is actually a pretty good card early game. Don't know why I pulled that up earlier. Just because you're hoping maybe your opponent is the one that's going to take the biggest hit from that. Letting them play their creatures first. Maybe you just place down a Settle Maul. And then you follow it up with the Eclipse the next turn after they've played out their creatures. Yeah, this deck, it's not bad. It's not great. I think it has a lot of cards in there that people automatically associate as being powerful. And they are, don't get me wrong, they're very powerful. And as cool as it is having the Chanted Hubrises and the Selwyn, to move the Sandbar off our creatures, they're not really that impactful of cards. Putting down a 3-power Selwyn, our opponent can easily deal with that in so many ways. I do like the fact that the deck has 2 taunts in it, allowing us to protect things like maybe him and Fidget, Candle Unit, some of the cards that are going to help us try and get an advantage. I feel like this deck takes a little bit of setup, but it's actually pretty good overall. Alright, therefore the rating for this deck, I'm going to have to give it a B-. You might think that's a little bit low. I want to think that's a little bit low. But over the course of like 50 or 100 games, I don't think this thing is going to perform as well as I would have liked it to. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos, and I'll see you next time.